These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised.
Life is meant for us to make mistakes and so on. So, personally, it was a bit hard on me because I was like, dang, I felt failed at something. Shape is different. I think it's because it's so small and everybody's like always together
Yeah.
that it's just like it's special. Yeah, as long as you're happy, like of your with your life and where you're at, it's the most important. I mean, and you have good health and
Yeah.
and so on. That is the most important. Like I said, everything else can be figured out.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Ula on the podcast. It has been some time since I've seen her face, since we have talked. So it is really nice to see her and have her on the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Ula.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. So, first question. If you were 18 and you were graduating from high school this year, what advice would you give yourself?
Wow, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? It's a good question. I never really thought about it. But I think I'd say give yourself time to process everything because it's a big step, going from high school where everything is a routine and everybody. Sorry, guys. I mean, my puppy is here. So yeah, give yourself time. I don't know, like take your time to make the right decisions. Ask around, because after high school, I started a university in Belgium,
Okay.
and I chose the wrong option. Let's say I went with translation because I always loved languages and so on. But I mean, since it was in Belgium, everything was in French, and my French was still not as good, maybe as it is now. I mean, it's still a work in progress, but it was not good enough to do translation from French into any other language. I chose English and Spanish as my two languages. But everything was going from French into English and Spanish, and so I made the wrong decision. But I mean, it happens, I guess. And then I didn't really ask around and take my time. I was just like, okay, I'm good with languages. I like languages, so why not? And I should have maybe taken more time to think about it and ask around and ask people. I did ask, but it was just kind of like everybody was trying to scare me, like into saying, yeah, it's not that easy and so on. And I was like, everybody always says that, and like when you go from elementary school to middle school and high school, everybody's like, yeah, it's such a huge change and so on. And then, I mean, you figure it out. But here it was really like, it was tough. So
what would you have done? Like, what would you have done not done differently, but what would you have chosen if you didn't choose translation?
Later on, like I finished human and social sciences. So maybe, I would have asked more around. Looked more into other options, because like I said, I just quickly was like, okay, I need to go do something after high school. I cannot just, I mean, I grew up in Poland. Well, not really, but I grew up in that culture, My parents are Polish, and so always at home it was like, okay, after high school you need to move on, you need to get an education and so on. And so I was kind of pressured into like, okay, I have to choose fast because you don't have much time, after high school. I mean, you have what, a month and a half to choose, sign up, and then you're off for multiple years and so on. So I think I should have asked more around, did more research, yeah, I think that was my mistake. I just didn't look too much into it, you know.
So tell us about your childhood since you started talking about it. Tell us about where you were from, where you were born, and then how you kind of got to shape and how you got to
I'm
where
still
you are
here.
now. Oh yeah, exactly. You're still in Belgium, and how you came back.
Yeah. So yeah, I was born in Poland. My
Mhm.
father was military. When I was 5, we moved to Shape as military. Stayed
Mhm.
here 3 years. I went to first Belgian kindergarten for a year. Then I moved to the half Belgian, half American kindergarten, and then I did first grade, and then we moved back. We moved back to Poland. And 3 years later, my dad got again a chance to come back to Shape, so we did.
Mhm.
Again as military for 3 years. And then my sister came. She finished high school in Poland,
Okay.
and there is still an American university on Shape, UMUC, I think.
Okay.
So she came to Shape to work at the library, and she started college there.
Okay.
So then, when my father's contract as military ended, we wanted
Mhm.
to come back, to be with my sister as a whole family. And so in 2012, he got a contractor job
Okay.
on Shape with NATO, and so we moved back and we stayed. Then I had to go to Belgian school.
Yeah.
That
How
was
was
a
that?
huge change. Oh, it was awful because I used to go to American school, so my
Mhm.
English was, let's say, good, hopefully.
Mhm.
Um,
It was.
and
I don't know. Don't play. It was.
and then I had to, I was forced to go to Belgian school where I just
Mhm.
knew how to say hello, my name is, and that's about it.
Yep.
And I had 3 years of high school
Mhm.
left, and so yeah, it was very tough, very hard on me, but I pulled through,
Mhm.
and I mean, I'm still here. I work
What?
in Belgium, but for a Polish
Mhm.
company now, so
Okay.
that's kind of funny because I always said I don't want to go back to Poland. I mean, my life is here, my friends are
Mhm.
here, so,
Mhm.
but
That's
it is
good.
what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me when you're in high school, like what mentality did you have to really get through that tough time?
Honestly, it was a lot of crying in the beginning. I mean, every
Mhm.
day after school, I would go home and cry my eyes out.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, I would sit there for 8 hours a day and I would barely understand anything. I mean, I was lucky enough that I went to the Belgian school on Shape.
Mhm.
So I still had a lot of friends, from American school.
Yeah.
Siana was at Belgian school, so that helped
Okay.
me a lot because I
Yeah.
knew her from American school, and so that really helped me, like to get in and like have somebody to talk to and so on.
Mhm.
But it was really tough. I mean, I used to cry. I used to tell my parents I want to go back to Poland. I
Mhm.
mean, you have all these classes, 8 hours a day, and then you have
Yeah.
tests and so on, and like you're failing because you don't understand. So I had to
Yeah.
study everything by heart, and
Mhm.
yeah, like first year was extremely, extremely, extremely hard. I had a teacher that helped me learn the basics of French, so I could at
Mhm.
least understand the classes and so on. And then, I mean, I did better and better every day, every week, every month, every year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what was the reason you couldn't go back to the American school? Was it because your dad was out of the military officially? So
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's 25,000 US dollars.
yeah,
So
it's
my parents
expensive.
said, we're not paying that,
Yeah.
like, hell no. If
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
if it was a university, college, something like that,
Mhm.
yeah, but I mean, for high school, they said, no, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because my senior year, my mom was gonna move, but she would have had to pay for me to stay at Shape, and it's like, yeah, 25,000, and she was like, I was gonna pay it. I was like, thank God you didn't have to, because she ended up staying. Like, but yeah, our school was not cheap. Which when I found that out, I was like, that's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
That's
I don't
insane.
understand. I mean, now, yes, I understand
Yeah.
because the school is actually renovated. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen it.
exactly. Yeah. It got renovated
But
the year after we
before,
graduated. Yeah, before.
yeah,
You're wondering where all
yeah.
that money's going, right? Like where's all that money going? Yeah, I guess there is going into the planning of the new schools because, like, yeah, there's nothing there anymore. The old elementary and
Everything
yeah,
is just
everything's gone.
gone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So weird. Like every time I go back, I'm like, well, I one day could have showed somebody that this is my elementary school, but I can't because it's all been torn down.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the gym and like the
Hmm.
drama room and the art class
Hmm.
is still
Yeah.
there, but everything else is gone. I don't even know if they still use it though, because I mean
They
that.
should, yeah. They probably still use the gym, probably not the drama and art or the other rooms
Yeah.
anymore. And the cafeteria is still there. I don't know if they're planning to redo that one
Oh
either.
yeah, true. The old cafeteria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's about it. And then CYS and all that I used to go to, but other than that,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, everything is there. I mean, there. I don't know when you came last time to Shape, but they
Hmm.
did also the new apartments and so on.
Yeah, I saw that being built. I think,
That's nice.
yeah, I went back in 2022. So yeah, when we were
Okay.
driving through and we saw all the apartments and stuff, and I was like, "What's happening? Like, who's coming? Who's coming to shape?
Right?
Like, what's going on?"
But it's so nice. But you know,
It
it's so
is.
weird because the new apartments are close to the old. I mean, the supermarket, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and the ration store and so on. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, you have all these old buildings and then the new apartments, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, okay,
it
great.
looks weird, yeah, right?
Yeah.
But it is good. I'm glad they're building up. I'm glad they're like doing stuff. But I do miss because I think they like tore down or they built they're building where the old nature walk was and all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like really weird to see your whole childhood just kind of be erased in a way.
Yeah, yeah, it
So
sucks. That's
yeah,
why I try to avoid Shape now. It's sad, you know, like all
yeah,
these memories. I mean, it's good for Shape because it
yeah.
all was old and like,
Hmm.
you know, kind of forgotten. But it is sad, you know, like all the memories, all the pictures that I have are like,
Yeah.
well, it's not the same anymore,
Not
you
at
know, like
all. Yeah, yeah. It's a whole new environment, really. Because going
oh yeah.
back, it felt really different. Like nobody goes to the bowling or pizza bowl anymore. I'm just
Mm,
like, where are the people? Like this used to be the hangout spot. Like we
yeah.
used to boogie in here. Now, like we went in there, I was like, nobody, no teens, no nothing. I was like, do y'all even go to the teen center, or do you guys just all go home? Like,
Right? I mean,
what do you
stay
guys
on their
do?
phones.
Basically, that's what I was like. Really, but it is interesting to see, and but I mean, it has been 10 years, and it's been 10 years since they moved into that school, so
Mm-mm.
it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me what happened after college. Did you go and get your master's, or did you go straight into the working field?
No, I just sorry.
Okay.
Um, I just got my bachelor's,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was just like, I'm done. I mean, with the year that I, you know, missed, let's say, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't miss anything because I still went to class and I still, you know, tried my best just to see until
Mm-hmm.
the end, just so I don't tell myself one day like, damn, I didn't try to the end, you know.
So what happened with
Um,
the year that you missed?
So I just like I went like I call it a missed year, but it's not really a missed year. So it's just
Okay.
like I went as a to the translation school,
Uh-huh.
and at some point I just realized it wasn't for me. But I
Okay.
finished
Yeah.
it because at some point in Belgium, at some point of the school year, you cannot switch anymore. So I was just like, okay, I mean, I paid for this whole school year, and I mean, I'm not really losing much because what
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go home and just stay 5, 6 months until the new school year starts. So
Yeah.
I just finished and all the way to June. I took the June exams and so on. And then I was just like, okay, it's time for me to change. So, I mean, I still learned a bit more Spanish, so that was a
Yeah.
plus for me and so on. And then I did human and social sciences. I asked around a bit more. I
Okay.
did some
Okay.
more
Yeah.
research,
Okay.
and I chose that. So yeah.
So what made you choose human and social sciences after going through
Translation.
translation and then going like back and like doing this whole process kind of all over again?
Yeah, so it was very general. So I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this time I cannot make a mistake,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
you had all these classes. We had like all the way from, I don't know, archaeology class to like sociology and
Okay.
history and so on. And so I was just like, okay, after that, if I ever want to do my master's in anything, basically, it's possible. And it's just it was studies that like I could not miss, like it
Yeah.
was not anything negative. It would have given me something, it opened a
Mm-hmm.
lot of doors after for work wise and so on. And so yeah, that's why I asked a lot around and looked into later on jobs that were possible with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so I was just like, okay, this is it. Because I
So
really I never knew what I wanted to do in my life. I was never so
yeah.
sure. And so yeah, I was just like, I cannot make a mistake if I choose something that is so general.
Mm-hmm. So during that time of you kind of being confused, especially during transitioning from doing translation to that, what was your mind like? What was your mindset like? Like, did you feel like I have to figure this out, or I could take the
Well, yeah,
time for myself to, explore and do other things, or you were just like, I have to get right into it, and that's it.
it was a bit of both because at some point when I realized that the translation is not for me, I did not put 100% into my classes and studying and so
Mm-hmm.
on. Um, but I gave myself time, like to okay look into new options and so on. But also like I knew I cannot stop. I knew I
Mm-hmm.
have to choose something else. I need to study. I need to have a diploma. So it was like kind of this pressure on me that okay, like if I choose wrong again, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? So it
Mm-hmm.
was like this burden on me that like I was like, okay, I cannot make this. I mean, I already, let's say, lost 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and then what? If I lose another year or another 6 months or so on.
Yeah.
So it was a bit stressful, and my family was always there for me, and they were like, okay, I
Okay.
mean, it happens. You're not the first person, you're not the last person on earth to whom that happens. So
That's
yeah,
good.
they were always, yeah, all my friends said the same thing, that they change. I have many friends that changed options too, so I was just like, okay, I mean, it happens, I guess.
Yeah. So because I was going to ask you about how your parents felt. Like, did they pressure you into it? And since they didn't, and you felt like you had that time, how did it feel like when you finally realized in this situation you're not alone? Like, there's other people around you who have gone through similar things. Did it make you feel better? Did it make you see like, okay, I can do this. I can figure out what I want, and it's okay not to know everything at one time.
I absolutely agree with the fact that like life is meant for us to make mistakes and so on. So it, personally, it was a bit hard on me because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dang, I felt failed at something,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody ever made me feel like I failed at something.
Yeah.
It was just a personal feeling, a personal burden that I had like somewhere deep inside. Um, so that was a bit putting me down at times, that I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not making my family proud,
Mm-hmm.
um, but at the same time I was proud of myself that I am in Belgium studying in a different language that I like have been learning since 4 years back then.
Yeah.
So I was like I had mixed feelings. So sometimes I was like putting myself down, like how could I was always a great student in school and high school and so on. I always tried my best, and then I find myself, like losing a year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, now looking back, it wasn't a lost year.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the right decision after, and good for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm where I want to be, and that's the most important. I mean, back then it was hard, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's always good to have that support around you that
Oh, for
tells
sure.
you and shows you like it's okay, and they'll help you figure it out along the way. So as you figured it out, what did it lead to? Because what are you doing now?
I'm an assistant in a company that works for NATO.
Okay.
So we find new contractors to work for NATO.
Okay.
So yeah, that those studies, did it help me? I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I always once I started studying, I knew I was gonna. I wanted to work in like human resources and so
Okay.
on. Um, so yeah, the studies helped me a lot by like realizing what life is about. Like I told you,
Mm-hmm.
we had so many different classes that you know, sometimes when you go to school you don't realize, like you're like, okay, I'm studying this, but is it really going to be helpful in the end? I
Yeah.
think my studies did help me a lot because I see life through my studies, you know, kind of like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I learned about that and wow, it's actual, like I can like use it in my daily life.
Exactly.
So so yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I did that, and I'm happy where I'm at now. And I mean, I'm still in Belgium. I think this is,
Mm-hmm.
even though I hate sometimes Belgium, I mean, we all do, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we
Yeah.
used to always complain on Shape, like, what is this? And so
Yeah.
but and I'm working for a Polish company, which I also used to hate. Like, no, I'm never gonna go back to Poland. What?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
What in your mind, like, where did you think you were going to be at this time? Because you're literally in a place that you said you would never come back to.
yeah, right.
So where did you see yourself right now?
Back then, I don't know. I like I told you, I never knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Did you have a dream
Somewhere,
place though, like to live or something?
no.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You just like go with the flow.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I knew that I don't want to go back to Poland because my life is here. Like I
Hmm.
said, my parents are still here. Now I live with my boyfriend, so we have a dog. So I mean, I cannot leave them.
Yeah.
But back then, I don't know. I knew that Poland is not my place. I lived most of my life here. I mean, 3 years when my father was military, then again 3 years. Then
Hmm.
in 2012 when we came back, I mean, I was too young to really have real friends back in Poland.
Hmm.
So all my memories that you can think of are here in Belgium, and so I was like, yeah, why not stay here and, like you said, go with the flow.
Yeah.
If the job option shows up, I don't know, in Germany or something, why not try?
Okay.
But I mean, for now, Belgium is my place, and we'll see what comes next.
Okay. All right. So how did that's so interesting because I definitely thought you, Ula, had like this plan. I don't know why, but when we were in school, I definitely thought you always had a plan because you were always like studying and stuff. And I was like, she's got to have some type of plan, like some type of like she's ready to go here and she's ready to move here and she's ready to be a CEO or something. Like I was like, I used to look at you and be like, that's not me. I have no idea where I'm going in life.
Yeah, I know. Like, I remember back in school, we were like two different worlds, you know? I was like this good kid, and like, you were with all the cool kids. And I was like, dang, like, what?
Oh my
You
goodness.
know what? Like,
Hmm.
honestly, I think I told you that a few years ago when we used to hang out when
Hmm.
you came back. But like, I used to think you hated me.
Oh gosh, no, I never hated you. And it's the funny thing is like me and you used to hang out sometimes, right? Like whenever like, we were just somewhere, we would hang out. So when you told me that, I was like, I never hated you. It's just like we just never really crossed paths that way. Like our lives, like I
Mhm.
played basketball and I was like always traveling, going somewhere for like sports and stuff. And then like you were studying and all that. And like we just had two different worlds. Literally, like we just had two different worlds. But no, I never hated you. I just, so you know how like when you meet somebody and you're just like, they're a cool person, but you just you don't know how to like interact sometimes. Like that's how I felt like sometimes we had like we would interact, but then there'd be other times it'd be like, I don't know if I should go up to this person even though I know them, like type of deal. Like that's how it felt. Like, cause like, it's like, oh, like she hung out with this person that I know, but like, should I go and say hi? Like, is that okay? So yeah. No, I never hated you. Like, I always loved you. I always thought you were an amazing person. And I was just like, I wish sometimes I could have the study and all of that down like she did. Because, like, for me, I did what you did in college. I just memorized everything and then threw everything out the next day. Like that's how it went for me in high school. Luckily, teachers liked me as well. Like, I had teachers who liked me. So it was like, well, it wasn't like I was a bad student or anything, like, because I had to keep my grades up. I had to have a B plus or higher to play basketball. So I was studying, but I just did not have the care about studying that a lot of other people around me did. So yeah, no, I loved you, dude. Like, no. Hey guys, we are on air. I know, right? So cool to have this. But I interrupt this podcast to ask you guys to please follow us on all of our social media sites. We have Instagram, YouTube, the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. And please share and like this episode and comment if this episode has affected you in any way. Because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people we reach. And the more people we reach means the more the story of mental health and military brats change. So please go and follow us on all of these websites, and please share it with whoever and whomever you believe these stories will help change. Because I know that all of these stories thus far has already helped change my life. So again, I thank you guys for watching. And please like, share, comment, and follow us on all of our social media platforms.
I remember like when you came back and we used to like catch up often with all these people from Shape and so on at parties.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, now we actually, you know, we're talking and we're actually like, you know, on like, let's say friends level and so on. And like in high school, it was just like, oh, okay, well, she's the cool kid. I'm not.
Oh my goodness, no. I feel so bad that I ever made you feel that way. No. It had nothing to do with that. It was just like when you run in two different circles and, you know, those circles, because it's Shape. We all hang out with each other all the time. It was just like that happened, you know, it wasn't as prevalent as it should have been. And then now, you know, I think both of us have experienced outside of high school. So we have more similar experiences now. So I believe like that is why like we started to build more of like than just acquaintances. Like now it's like more of like a friendship level, because like I was like you, I went to college and I was like, oh, I'm going to do psychology. And like I went to my first psychology class and I was so bored. Like I was like, this is definitely like this is definitely not it for me. Like I got an A and everything. Like I do still love the brain, but I was like, oh God, no. So I switched to sports management, and I do nothing in sports management right now. I'm a contract specialist. Like I kind of similar to what you do, how you bring companies to NATO. I do that with the military. Wow. I connect companies to the family morale part of the military. So I connect companies so that we can get our supplies or we can get whatever we need to, you know, support the families and the soldiers. So yeah, that's what I do.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty.
So you're still in the military life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like once you're in it, it's so hard to get out of it, right?
It is. Yeah. How did you adjust? Like when you went to college and you're outside of the military world, how did that feel for you?
It wasn't that. It was a change, but like I was still so close to Shape. I went to university in Mons, so I was still so close to Shape, and I still hung out with Shapians and so on. I mean, I went to university. We finished the same bachelor degree with I don't know if you know him, Andrea Pellegrino.
I think I do.
Yeah, Italian kid.
Yeah.
Italian kid, and like we both went to school, so we used to always hang out together
Okay.
after that, after classes and so on. So it felt, I don't know, like I really never left that shape life, let's say. I even
Hmm.
worked when I was going to university. I worked on shape at the B3s, at the bar on shape.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, I was always there, you know. I never left. I left for good, let's say, when I
Hmm.
moved in with my boyfriend.
Okay.
When I finished my studies, I quit my job on shape. Obviously, I was
Hmm.
working as an SMD, so I was not making much money.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I moved close to Waterloo,
Okay.
and so then I really left that, let's say, shape life. It
Hmm.
is a change because a lot of, you lose a lot of friends when
Hmm.
you leave shape.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know all about that. Then
Yeah.
everybody just moves on and
Yeah.
lives their own life, which is understandable for sure. But
It's strange
yeah,
still though.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
feels weird now when I go back sometimes, like to see a friend or my
Hmm.
father even at work or something to grab a coffee. It feels like strange, like I don't belong there anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shape
Yeah.
changed so much, and it keeps changing every year. It's like
Hmm.
even Make a Wish and Shape Fest, it's not the same anymore. Like
Really. Oh.
it's weird. It's awkward. Let's say
Yeah.
it's.
It might be the years like that we've had distance from it because like when we were younger, we're like, oh right, it's Make a Wish, and we all know what went down at Make a Wish. We're not going to talk about it. and then like we got Shape Fest, and we're going on the rides, and we're eating, and it's just not the same anymore. When I guess you're older and you don't have your friends around you, it's a little
Exactly. I
different.
think it's all the people make everything, like when
Mm-hmm.
you're around your friends, you feel comfortable, you have fun. And now I'm just like there, like this one person just walking around, like in between all these people I don't know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess now like you're officially, I mean like you're not officially away from like the military life, but like you're out of it,
Mhm.
and has that transition been easier because you have your boyfriend and now you have your dog? Has that made that transition easier?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I still miss it because the memories are there. They will never
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
And they were good days.
Yeah.
I mean, shape made me who I am today. Let's be
Hmm.
honest. For so many years, I was there. That it is what it is. But yeah, I think where I'm at now, like let's say far away from shape, 1 hour
Hmm.
away. So it is not that I can, go just pass next to shape or so on.
Hmm.
So it is like, let's say, easier that I'm a bit farther away.
Hmm.
And I have like, like I stay busy with now my job and my dog and my boyfriend and life and so on. But I still often go back
Okay.
um, around shape.
Hmm.
My parents live around there, and actually for my work, I sometimes have to go to the commune of Mons
Okay.
to help new people register there. So it's like, yeah, I go there and I'm just like, I have to tell these people about shape because they will be working on shape and so on. And I'm like, yeah, it's this great place, but I mean, it's not any. Well, in my opinion, let's say it's not anymore.
Yeah.
But I always say one thing. I always say that shape is a very specific place that you will never ever find that same exact environment and
Hmm.
so on anywhere else in the world,
True.
like
Hmm.
even though you have like bases in the US and there's Ramstein and so on all over the world, it's shape is different. I think it's
Hmm.
because it's so small and everybody's like always together that
Yeah.
it's just like it's special, you
Yeah.
hate it sometimes when you're
Hmm.
here,
Hmm.
but you miss it so much when you're gone. It's just
Yeah.
like that special feeling that you cannot describe.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So it
tell
is something
everybody. I tell everybody all the time, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like
yeah.
it was just magical, and to be able to like experience different cultures and different people, like getting out of that was strange. I was like, oh, so I don't get to see like Ula today, or I don't get to see like Andres today, or somebody like this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
especially
weird.
that we all, like first of all have our own life, so it's
Mm-hmm.
harder. But like it's shaped. So like you're in the U.S. now, I'm
Yeah.
still in Belgium. Then there's
Yeah.
somebody else in Spain or Italy or Germany, and it's just like
Exactly.
so hard, so yeah, hard. I mean, you have to adjust now, and
Yeah.
it's not always easy. So I do miss Shape Life, but I think it's a different chapter of my life now,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
gotta make the best of this chapter.
Yep. Exactly. So tell me, you moved. How was it like making friends outside of like that shape? Because you said you've had pretty much as you transitioned somebody that you knew going to like high school and then going to college. So now you're in a place where you don't really know people. How did you start making friends?
It's extremely hard, because on Shape it was always so easy. Everybody, like when there's a new person, us the old people, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
we try to integrate them in our groups, let's say. And so now I'm here just between all Belgians. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
any other nationalities anymore, and I'm like, like it's so new. Let's
Yeah.
say it's really. I mean, I used to meet all these new people all the time, so it shouldn't be, but it really is. I mean, these people never understand our life, and
Yeah.
then like they don't understand. They never will.
Mm-hmm.
And so for them it's like a bit abstract, like what I explained to some people. They're like, huh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's not easy because like Shape is a huge luggage with me that I always have, and so it's not easy to make friends. um I struggled a lot. I loved meeting people, so don't
Mm-hmm.
get me wrong, and I always try and so on. But also, like when you're an adult and you have all those responsibilities, and like weekend comes around, you're just like, I want to be alone. I don't want to
Yeah.
see people. I just want to relax and get stuff done at home, and spend some time with my boyfriend, and then half and like the week comes around and you're like, oh no, not again.
I
So
completely
so it's
understand.
not, yeah, so it's not easy, and let's say it's a bit sad.
So how do you push yourself
But
out of your comfort zone though? Like how do you push yourself out of staying at home and being like, all right, I'm just gonna be right here, or like, okay, let's go meet one person today.
oh yeah, it's extremely hard because that's exactly me. Like I'm like, I talk to my friend and I'm like, I want to meet them. I
Mm-hmm.
want to hang out. But then when it comes around to it, I'm like, I really don't want to. And so it's a huge negative point about me. But I don't push myself
Yeah.
enough to to go out and so on. Um, yeah, that's something I guess I need to work on, and meet people more often. So yeah, well, maybe after this, I will.
All right, Ula, I'm gonna be sending you things. I'm gonna be like, all right, I challenge you today to say hi to one new person. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be like, challenge today. Go say hi to a new person. Go to a coffee
Right?
shop and be like, hey,
Yeah. Now
something.
when like I walk my dog around here, and you have all these people that that walk their dogs too, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll change the time tomorrow. I'm not gonna walk my dog at the same time so I don't see you,
Oh
or
my
or I
god.
just turn the other way around. I'm like, hi, did I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really struggle with that, but I shouldn't
Yeah.
because I grew up on Shape, so we were always around people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. When I grew older, I became crazy in my head, I guess. I'm good in front of Netflix and at night with my boyfriend, just in
Yeah.
front of a movie,
Oh my
and walk
goodness.
my dog during the day, and I'm good.
Wow. Do you think, because you work from home, do you think that impacted you a little bit? Like I don't have to go out during the week. Why do I want to go out there on the weekend?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But I do sometimes, I'm like, I bug my boyfriend a lot. I'm like, can we go somewhere? Let's go to
Mm-hmm.
Brussels, walk around, and so on. So I want to move around, but I want to move around like alone or with him or go see my
Mm-hmm.
parents. You know, my safe places.
Yeah.
Um, which is, like I said, is bad because I am becoming this crazy person and, like, not crazy cat lady, but crazy
Mm-hmm.
dog lady, and that I just want to stay, home. And yeah, so I think, yeah, my job, even though my coworkers, they do come to Belgium, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
always happy to meet with them once a month because they have to come for work once a month.
Okay.
So I'm always happy to do that, but I mean, it's only once a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta get you. We gotta get you out there, Lula. We gotta get you out there. We're gonna get you out there.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, and it's not. I can feel that it's not good for the mental health because it's.
Yeah.
I can feel that when I was always out between my friends and working on shape and so on, I was more open. I was like more happy, and now I'm always like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired. I want to take a nap. Like
Yeah.
it holds a thing in your head that you're tired of, like, any tiny interaction after with somebody, and you're like, oh, that was tiring.
Yeah. Like,
Exhausting.
yeah, it's weird. It definitely closes yourself off because I do remember that when I was working from home, my mom would be like, "Go out and do something." I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good." I just got off work. I just want to sit here and watch TV. And
You're right.
so, like, yeah, like, so moving kind of forced me, especially, like, because they asked me, like, do you mind coming into the office? I was like, no. I was like, I need to. Like, I need this, get out of my comfort zone. I need to, go to the office. And it's kind of forced me to really go out and meet people and see people. And I have friends that live here in Texas, so I hang out with them sometimes. And so, yeah, being pushed out of my comfort zone, it feels very ugh.
Right?
But yeah, but because
But I think it's also COVID that did that to
yeah,
us.
that's true.
I mean, we were always home, and, like, we got used to it because it was so long.
Yeah.
That, like, now it's just like, okay, we're back in COVID. I
Mm.
mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, now you got to get back out in the world and figure it out, and it is strange, but yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
gotta,
also, like, as an adult, like I said, you have so, like,
yeah.
well, not so many responsibilities because,
Hmm.
like, I don't have kids or anything, and
But
but
you still have to have your
yeah, when you're,
job. You still have to go to the grocery
yeah,
store. So you still have a lot to do that's on your
cook. I
mind.
mean,
Yeah.
cooking. Yeah,
Gosh, that takes so freaking. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't
yeah.
stand planning and all that. My coworkers were telling me like they don't like eating the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'll make something for the weekend. I'll eat it the whole week. I just can't. Like, I don't. It's too much thinking. It's too much to process. Like, if I make something on Monday, I will like eat it until Wednesday, and then I'll figure out something on Thursday. But it's just a
Yep.
lot.
That's how my boyfriend, like, luckily my boyfriend is not, picky.
Hmm.
I was used to having something new every day when I used to live with my parents, but now I'm like, is it okay if I cook for 2 days? I mean,
Yep.
we're gonna be good, right? Yeah,
Yep.
of course. Okay, perfect.
Exactly. And
And
groceries are
like the same thing.
expensive.
So same thing. I cooked yesterday, and I'm like,
Hmm.
we're eating leftovers today. I'm gonna cook again Monday, and then we're gonna eat leftovers on Tuesday.
Exactly. It's how it should be. Like, and
Yeah,
groceries are
because I mean,
expensive as it is. Like, groceries are just ridiculous. So you eat what
right?
you got.
Exactly, and I mean, like, all the planning, and then you want to make something, and you don't have it in the fridge, and you're like, damn it, I have to go out of the house again.
Yeah.
Just went grocery shopping. I mean, damn it.
It's like you got to look at your bank account and be like, hold up. Like, what just happened? I'm pretty sure we've paid everything, and now we got to pay for more groceries. Didn't we just go last week?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I get you. I completely understand. I completely understand it. But I'm sure like your inner self, like when you're a kid, like it's like, hey, like let's get out. Hey, come on. We've done this our whole lives. Let's go meet somebody new. So yeah.
Yeah, I miss that. I know I feel different when I do go out. I'm like, damn, why don't I ever go out?
Yeah.
Once you're out there, it's fun. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
you don't go out to see your friends not to have fun,
Yeah.
or at least enjoy the moment. So, yeah, I mean, once I'm there, I'm like, okay, I was stupid not to do it. But then when you're at home, you're like, damn, I have to get dressed and put makeup on and like drive there and so on. I'm like, oh my god, so much work. But when you're there, you enjoy the moment, and it's great for mental health for sure. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's definitely
I
worth
mean,
it. It's definitely worth it.
yeah.
So, tell me, last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I don't know what type of answer I'm about to get.
Right?
I don't know what answer I'm about to get, but I'm ready. Let's see.
You know what? I don't have an answer. Like, dang. I don't know. I hope I'll still be here with my dog and my boyfriend in my safe place. um, I don't know. I just hope I'm gonna be happy with what is around me, what I'm gonna be doing, and yeah, there's no really an answer to that. Like, I'm not that person from high school anymore where I have everything planned out, and now it's life, and you don't know what's gonna happen the day after. And I just hope I'll be happy, healthy, and my family as well. And
Yeah.
I think that is the most important. Everything else can be worked out, and
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think it's the answer you were looking for, but
It's okay.
I
I was
mean,
going to ask, I was going to be like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids in that time? Or are you just kind of letting it be?
my boyfriend doesn't really want to get married, and
Okay.
nowadays I don't. I've always wanted to because that's how I grew up. Polish
Mm-hmm.
culture, everybody gets married and so
Mm-hmm.
on. But honestly, I'm 28. Some are gonna say I'm young and I still have time, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I don't feel like I need it. I mean, it's for me. It's just a paper.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we're happy together, we live together. I mean, we don't need it. So, yeah. And kids, I mean, we'll see what life brings. But I've always wanted kids.
Okay.
I have one niece and one nephew
Okay.
from my sister's side. So I love those kids, and I would want them to have somebody to play with, but we'll see what life brings. I mean, for now, nothing planned. My dog is enough trouble.
I know. I get you right there.
So, yeah, I don't really have a clear answer because I don't know.
Okay. So we're going to be
Sorry.
checking in with Ula in the future. Guys, she'll be back because we got to know. Like, where'd she end up? She didn't give us an idea, so we got to know. And she's going to have friends. She's going to have friends.
Maybe, right? And maybe some people can pitch an idea. It's like, yeah, you should do this in life, or you should be there in life in 5 years. You're going to be over 30. I mean, give me ideas.
All right, guys. Hit the comments. She's ready for y'all. Hit the comments. Oh, my goodness. Wow, this has been so much fun doing this with you, Ula. Thank you for coming on, for sharing your story, and it was just great to catch up with you. It was awesome to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I told you I'm a fan, so I was very pleased to come. And even though I didn't give you maybe the answers you were looking for, I tried.
Hey, look, it's your story. The answers that you gave me are exactly the answers that were to those questions. So don't even worry about that. Because somebody else is going to listen to this and be like, I'm in the same position as her. And if she can be where she is now, I can do the same thing. So, yes.
Yeah, as long as you're happy, with your life and where you're at, it's the most important. I mean, and you have good health and so on. That is the most important. Like I said, everything else can be figured out with time, and just keep your head up high and do what you think is right.
Exactly. Look, Ula already dropping bombs, y'all. She coming for you. It is so great. So happy to reconnect with you, Ula. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There are a ton more tea time episodes, as well as stories that are going to be shared on this podcast to come. So please like and subscribe or follow down below. And I will see you all next Military Brat Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so excited to continue this journey with all of you.